Everyone thinks freedom is a gift. Let the dog run, explore, roam. Give them space to be themselves, right? But when it comes to the Belgian Malinois, that idea isn't just wrong, it's dangerous. Because with this breed, freedom doesn't feel like love. It feels like abandonment. And when you give a Malinois too much of it, too much space, too little direction, you're not giving them peace. You're giving them pressure. Pressure to take control, pressure to make decisions, pressure they were never meant to carry on their own. This is where so many well-meaning owners go wrong. They see the energy, the drive, the intensity, and they think, he just needs room to burn it off. So they open the yard, extend the leash, ease up on structure. But here's what really happens. The Malinois doesn't relax. They scan, they pace, they fixate. Because their mind isn't looking for rest, it's looking for orders. Without those orders, without a job, their world becomes chaos. And when that chaos comes, it doesn't knock. It crashes through everything. Take this real story. A woman named Leah adopted a young Malinois named Kai. She lived on a beautiful property, acres of space, wooded trails, wildlife everywhere. She thought, this is paradise for a dog like him. So she let him run. No leash, no expectations, no commands. The first week, he explored joyfully. The second, he started chasing deer. The third, he began patrolling the perimeter on his own. By the fifth week, he'd bitten a visitor's sleeve, and not during play. Kai had declared himself the leader. Why? Because in a world without direction, the Malinois will create his own. And that new reality? It's one you can't take back easily. The truth is, freedom feels like failure to a Malinois when there's no framework around it. This is a breed that was designed to solve problems under pressure, to read micro-signals from handlers, to make split-second decisions that affect lives. When you leave a brain like that unsupervised, when you don't define the mission, it creates one. And most of the time, it's rooted in obsession, overprotection, or territorial control. This doesn't mean your Malinois can't run. It means they can't run without purpose. It means off-leash time must follow structure. Exploration must follow training. Play must follow discipline. Because in the Malinois mind, freedom is a reward, not a default. When you reverse that, when you give freedom first and try to install structure later, it doesn't feel like leadership. It feels like inconsistency. And inconsistency is something this breed does not forgive. You might think, but my Malinois seems happy. He runs in the yard, he chases toys, he sleeps fine. Yes, but watch closer. Does he listen when it matters? Does he come back without hesitation? Does he check in or does he check out? A Malinois may look calm, but under the surface, they're constantly evaluating. You can't see the stress building until it snaps, and by the time it does, you've already lost trust. That's why so many trainers say this: with a Malinois, freedom is earned, not assumed. You don't give it because they're tired. You give it because they're focused, fulfilled, and following. And the moment they stop doing those things, you pull back, not as punishment, but as leadership. This breed doesn't want to lead. It wants to follow a leader who's worthy. Someone who shows up the same every day. Someone who provides direction, routine, expectation. And when that leader disappears, even for a few days, the Malinois steps up. Not because they want to dominate you, but because nature hates a vacuum. If you don't give them a job, they'll make one up. And their version of the job often includes guarding the house, controlling guests, chasing animals, or destroying anything that feels out of place. That's not disobedience, that's misplaced intelligence. So what's the answer? Start small. Define everything. Wake-up times, training times, feeding, rest. You don't need a military lifestyle, but you do need intentionality. Every freedom should follow structure. You want them off-leash? Drill recall every day. You want them to explore the yard? Teach boundary awareness first. You want to trust them with strangers? Earn that through neutrality training. You can give freedom, but never give it without foundation. Because when you build that foundation, something magical happens. Your Malinois relaxes, not because they're tired, but because they trust the structure you've built. They check in with you naturally. They wait for your signals. They walk with you instead of in front of you. That's what freedom looks like to this breed. Not physical space, but mental safety. So if you've been struggling, if your Malinois seems restless, reactive, intense, look at where you've given too much too soon. Pull it back. Reset the relationship. Build trust through structure, not affection. And then slowly, give freedom as a gift, not a guess. Because this breed, it doesn't want freedom to escape. It wants freedom to follow, with confidence.